despite the strong start from this pro team, they were unable to get the plow going, and it's the new dynamic that makes final here in Dreamhack with amazing. We're looking forward to breaking this one down. I'm Richard Lewis, and with me, of course, three lucky kids. Shield.
It was what I expected, but I actually expected more than like you guys on the last few months. We started so well on the first one. I've got to say, I don't know how much we'll break down like the second part. I actually, a phrase that I hate to say here said in the elections of Dota 2, which is what people say this was lost to the people fans. Yeah, this series is really watched. They've been training. I was talking to myself when we carried on my stage, like, your chart would have ended, like, I could have had a choice between cash and Mirage, and I could have all elected for Mirage. The fact that they won would have been the decider, and they would have had a good chance of trading they could have won the series. Instead, they gamble, letting it go to Inferno and cash, and obviously, yeah, getting one of those should still be possible, but the way things have played today, they really wasn't.
Also with us, gentlemen, we're going to get straight into it because obviously we've had a slight delay from the play catch up. So I understand that the limited group, no content, right? You know, you want limited group. When you pick this up, tell us about it. It's something that's not right. This is something I don't want to harp on the other here, but we just not flashing on the shipping. So we see my flash, I think it's like here, there's no one being. There's no one in this call. He saw the people in the BS, but he hesitated. He doesn't jump, to hide behind the wall. He just hands around the kitchen and gives time for the players to get inside the plan of them to take positions now. Inside push actually, the bomb's already planted. He dies here. I mean, the thing is, as I said, I don't want to be too hard on the alley. This is more of an example of how Counter-Strike in the game we need to make important decisions in like little second, In hindsight, it would have been much better that Jan just jumped out, tried to buy some time for his teammates, maybe stop the bomb or maybe stop the bomb from going. So I think that you need to be aware of the risk you're taking, but also the reward that's possible, because at this point, if you just don't do anything, you let them plant the bomb in a 4v4 after plant where these players are all set up, it's unlikely that you're going to win that round that point on. I mean,
that's actually a problem reality as a player has to we hear that he's one of the best heads. They might even see a guy like he does all the things, lost the goal, lost to get the action, actually he doesn't. Even on the side, he's the guy where he has to have the awards, the task, flashing him in, putting the smoke down, then he feels confident going. You've seen he's one of those players, just one of those players where he just hates to die. Forget like the action, he doesn't want to be the guy who dies, so. This scenario here, I agree with that question. Like here is, go in early, delay them, maybe you get a kill, even if you don't, you're only in fine where they are, you delay the fight a little bit, your teammates get there, what that involves, taking a huge risk, you might just like do nothing. You didn't like to knock him, you didn't want to do that, you wanted to try and win an angel, but on that Christmas scenario,
that's the big point. If he goes for it, he dies, then at that point the other players can just, okay, now we just resurge. A good example of Lepricon doing it the right way, right? So this was this is the following round. So we see Monastic tries to fake mid flashes from the smoke, we have Prince here throwing the molo. VP is on a kind of a weak fight. Here we see they have two pistols, not to enforce, not a lot of name. So here they make a judgment call, next that's pushing towards smoke, that's right behind him, he's ready to throw a flash. They catch JW in like anti-flash position, and they get the trade here. They trade 3 for 1, they end up winning these rounds. This is an example of how immediately after losing the round, BP adjusts. They don't just stand passive waiting for Fnatic to come at them, knowing that they don't have enough resources to fight them. They make a risk, it pays off this time, and it enables them to win a couple of rounds in a row from that point on. So after the Dream Mirage, they're looking good. What goes wrong on the next one? Why isn't the plow getting started? Well,
Tacticals are pretty impressive to start off with Inferno. They have two ambushing versus the dynamic, which holds everything that they want to do. So they kind of bog down, they don't hit the pace around at all. So eventually it ends up being really delayed ambush, like getting a good interview with a situation of the Fnatic. After that, early sort of game, they had kind of some rock that was a battle of economy on both sides. So to see people subs twice in a row. And what those guys, they did severe damage to they had about 9 months, but they ended up not getting on the ball now because all was remains eventually gets picked off after the day slow they would bump, sometimes the ground. And then you get into this really back and forth game where eventually they're not turning back. After that, it felt like DP never got into the game. They said it was slowly for the entire team had. And the only time they really got into the game, they did start to quite some time, but we haven't seen a long one. It was mostly that, which was an 8 situation that accidentally asked the whole player getting pushed out there while the entire DP team was strong games, all that stuff, just to basically actually have to work on that area. They managed to get one round that way, so you start to think like, okay, maybe they found the whole defense. Then you saw one of the highlights that had the starter factor into this segment, where they do a similar call from the previous round that they just won, but they speed up the tempo, they want to go quick towards A. And it ends up in a situation where Dreamhack jumps on top of the box, pulls to the box side, and he gets the perfect flash that is right behind him, and eventually picks it. I don't think you can call DP to do that. I mean, it's a great call, and I can't really jump to get it up, that kind of.
Well, I did say in the pre-show, I felt the CT side was going to have an extra special level of importance here. We didn't really know about that CT side. Well, on Inferno, they were very, very solid.
This is like the flag all the way they watched it down, not the exact way that they did in terms of positions, but just kind of smothering it. Like BPL and Inferno, ever since kind of vintage, their default strategy is they just walk up the middle and try to take control of the top area of the middle. Be on the flashes over the arch, deciding which way we're going to go, or we're going to go back to B. And then they did that. That's exactly the best defense Mag has. They have to watch the players they do there. This reminded me of the old Black. Unfortunately, they had so many rounds of CT, it would have taken a perfect CTR. But if they got rounds, a lot of us were in jump time. It was already on recently. I remember one key round where this was on CT, where Pasha had a ball, he was in the right, and he gets one ball. Going towards the copy, he starts putting out the library back and over the archway. Except his teammate the whole time is sat on the other side of the archway, holding that angle up. Instead, he doesn't pursue the team. He didn't say what he's doing, he didn't explain. Instead of listening to that, he tries to push on himself. And then to a point blank, Dennis is the whole time. He went back and showed him the right. He lost the whole personal position, essentially just broke the whole map just because of full comms there. That's just not a scenario where if you're VP, you can't be playing that sort of CG side, especially if you're not like if no one expected to do that. I feel
they're in control of the car or of the match. On Mirage, it was the VP because placing clutches, they Neo falling to the field, Pasha winning the line.
All right, welcome back to Game 4 of Empire versus 4CL. As Shiver pointed out, this is the last match if 4CL loses it. Of course, we're going to see the Tiny from Sexy Bambo for the first time. But I got to worry about this 4CL draft because if they don't just get this ball rolling right from minute 1, they will have a lot of tanky heroes to walk into. Funnick, DK, Bane, Gyro. I'm not sold on this draft.
I really like the Tidehunter last pick. I think it completely catches 4CL off guard here in this game, and they have to find solutions to disallow Funnick from getting level 6 early and just getting tanky in general and getting up front. Maybe one thing they can do is try to block the Ancients so they get less out of that Kraken Shell Anchor Smash combo that most offlane Tidehunters go for. But you're right, Empire, very tanky lineup. The panel said it's very important for Clovers to win the lanes. I think it's going to be pretty difficult for them. Lich is, of course, good for winning one lane. But as far as finding kills, you've got a Bane and Avenge on one side, 2 tanky supports in the laning stage. Gyro again for Silent. Resolution, Dragon Knight. They've got like all of their heroes that they really, really enjoy playing. So it's going to be interesting to see. That said, though, for Clovers, they're also on comfort zone heroes for sure. But this time around, who's the carry? It's Bambo on the Tiny. They have a core on Pycat mid with the Queen of Pain. And generally, Bambo's playstyle revolves more around being active and farming. So.
Yeah. I mean, I've definitely seen Pycat's Queen of Pain get a ton of farm. He goes Aghanims in even Refresher afterwards and just outputs so much damage in the team fight. But we'll see if he actually gets there because this laning stage between Bane as well as the Fire Breath from DK, you're losing quite a bit of damage, and he's not having the best of time. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane here, Tiny is getting a little bit of help from Lich, but Anchor Smash against melee heroes is exactly where the Tidehunter wants to be at. Actually, Anchor Smash against Tiny in general, where like in the mid game where he has Grow and you just anchor him, he loses a ton of percentage of his damage.
This is a fine lane for him. Yeah. I think interesting thing about Tide as well is, well, what else could 4Clovers have done? I think if they wanted to really counter the Tide, they had to play Quap in the lane. She's the best hero they have at dealing with it. Bad Rider, you cracking off the sticky napalm stacks when you've taken enough damage, and then you can't really die to that.
I think it's good enough where you have the Lich on the bottom lane already to delay the level 6 from Tide as much as possible. And then you just hope to have Bambo to farm this Blink ASAP.
I mean, if you're looking to kill Tide, they've put the best lane there with Tiny and Lich. They have enough burst between them, but you need to consider what it costs on other lanes of the map. Niqua will not be having that good of a time with the Bad Rider. We won't be seeing that 8-minute blink that we've seen out of Bambo in a lot of games.
With that said, though, I don't think they're as dependent on an 8-minute blink either, because you have the Tiny, because you have the Queen of Pain,
absolutely.
So you can fight much better.
All in all, it's okay laning from 4CL. I see what they're trying to do here. I think it does make sense. It's just, you know, you need to find the best solution they could for this Tide while still keeping their other lanes all right. And this looks okay for now.
Yep. Also, I don't think this game, the Bane will have as big of an impact as he's been having, at least in the last game. Again, he's going for the no talisman build. The more I see it, the more I like it. Although, again, the sacrifice comes in the form of the Venge being somewhat under farmed in lane. Under item in lane, I guess is the best way to put it.
Yeah, he only has a stick and one branch, so kind of tricky here. But of course, that stick is really good in this lane.
Very unfortunate mid lane Pycat. Oh, looks like he might die here. Blinks out just in time. He delivers a salve, and as soon as he salved, he got Nightmare. So canceling this out. Resolution is sticking around, very low health.
Yeah, this is a pretty close lane. And all right.
Well, you talked about it, how this lane has the best burst damage possible.
Yeah.
And they do pick up the kill.
It's a pretty likely lane for the first blood to happen, and they caught him off guard there and did enough damage. Now Snowball actually going to help out Pycat here. Oh, brings up just barely.
Well, there you go.
Whoa, okay. Actually catches him there.
I'm surprised he had vision, actually.
Yep. Daytime for the win.
Yeah.
For Empire in the mid lane. That's a big kill. That's way more important than the Tidehunter kill. Funnick is still going to get back in this lane a bit. Like, he needs to be careful not to feed away too much, but Tiny doesn't have mana for his combo right now. Funnick has still managed to get level 3. He can just fight EGM here, basically. He has 6 stick charges. He has a Mango, Tango, Salve, all that good stuff.
So, your comment about Tiny not having mana brings me to the point of, does he go Arcane Boots, does he go Bottle, or does he go straight Blink? Because we're not going to see that far more into Tiny this game. Right?
I don't think Arcanes are the choice.
Okay, he buys a Bottle.
Well, he has to be a farm oriented Tiny, right? Else what's the win condition for 4Clovers?
No, he never farms on Tiny. He just goes for the Blink, 4-staff Shadow Blade. Like,
all right,
he just
so
fights.
Queen of Pain, Desolator, MKB Daedalus build?
I mean,
like, who's going to destroy the base?
That's also a question that needs to be answered, but Queen of Pain, Accept a Refresher, that's a lot of late game damage.
I think Bambo is going to build this Tiny just like Pycat did last game. He has his preferred build that he plays very well with, but it's not a good strategic choice here whatsoever to go that way. So
okay, we'll see. Funnick,
I really don't think so.
Might actually just die here. Tiny walks in, and maybe he'll toss back, and he'll toss straight up here. The right click's going to be there. Funnick does have the magic stick. He uses it, and they do get a secondary kill. So something that he said that Funnick needs to watch out for is not to give away so much in lane. He's doing just that.
And that bottle was a good choice. I think Arcane Boots, you know, it's tempting in that lane. You have the gold for it. You're out of mana. You want to help your Lich as well, being able to constantly harass, but he has to go the carry route. I think we're going to see Treads blink.
Okay. Top lane.
Yeah, he's kind of...
Maybe you could TP with Shards blocking?
Yeah.
Okay, 7. Cutting through the... Giving vision, and the right-click range just enough. I wonder if he could sneak a little bit closer to the trees up, a little bit further up, but maybe not.
It's possible they could have put the shards a bit further out, and then they couldn't have reached him with the Gyrocopter's attacks. I think his hero was as far in as it could have been, so...
Mid lane here, Nightmare,
nice
maybe into a stun.
Oh, Pycat's dead, actually.
Oh, yeah.
This bodes very, very well for Empire with how this mid lane is going. Getting those 2 kills on Pycat, who is a momentum-driven player. Resolution gets off to a great start. He hasn't really lost the lane. He's obviously won it now with the kills, but you're looking on CS and they have the same. And the trade-off so far has just been that Funnick has been countered a little bit, but they still managed to stack the Ancient 3 times, and this is going to be a quad stack that Funny can farm. He's level 5, and that almost brings you up to level 7.
Yep. You are right on point on the treads for Tiny, so...
Oh, Ice Shards, very nice from Soxa here in mid. This is a kill they need. Resolution trying to TP. That's not happening. Snowball. Gotta keep him there. Basically just wasting that TP.
The Queen getting the kill, in fact.
Yeah, very, very important that he gets back in this game.
He's holding to Observer Ward. I imagine the support passing it to him so he could ward for himself. As he is sitting pretty in the dark here in the first Nightfall. Gets the double damage as well with Sonic Wave. Maybe you look for a solo kill up top here.
Yep, that's entirely possible. Can kill off the gyro. I think he does need a little bit of help, but just Ice Shard Snowball is enough. Looks like they're trying for it. Empire should be realizing this is happening, though. They have a good high ground ward in mid. There's nobody in the lane at all. This is super fishy from Pycat.
Good ward at top as well, seeing any kind of rotation coming their way, so...
Not gonna happen here for him.
Can he actually solo kill the Bane? Probably not, right, with the Nightmare?
No.
And the fact that he's got 700 HP.
The moment Pycat uses his first spell, you just Brain Sap and then you Nightmare after. It's gonna be fine.
I mean, everybody says Bane has ridiculous stats. He's sitting at 777 HP as level 5.
The jackpot. Call down. Soxa forced into the snowball.
All right.
Triple TPs.
They gotta get this kill.
Didn't look him in either. That's horrible.
They don't have Flame Break either. Pycat blinks forward, but he can't get in range for a dagger. Oh man, that's
Pycat won't be getting this kill. He's looking pretty desperate. He's just going to plant the ward at the very least to get something out of this, but triple TP, they don't even get the kill. And actually, all 3 of them, I believe, did complete their TPs. That opens up so much space in the lanes.
Yep. DK's already in DK form and looking to do a little bit of tier 1 tower damage. EGM's got to be careful here.
This tower taking some serious damage now with the...
Bottom lane here, it looks like
Breath,
Bambo looking for a solo kill against Funnick. Funnick can just grab a TP and get himself out of harm's way. And
he can't kill him in one go. I really don't think so. 700 health is too much. He has Stick after, which is going to have 6 charges when the combo goes off. Instead, we could see the opposite here. This is a kind of tricky kill. They don't have Breath, they don't have Ravage.
He's out of there.
It's actually TPing away.
But I think that this moment of silence for both teams is very good for Empire.
Yeah.
I mean, like
perfectly fine. They're getting their stacks.
Getting farmed. In fact, it's
forcing the rotation.
Silence rotating in with call down here. If they get off the magic missile, it's gonna be a kill. In fact, they want to fight this. Huge damage output here from the Lich as well as Pycat. Pycat a little bit too close to the gyro, takes a ton of damage, but completes a double kill. Well, you said
back in the game now.
Yeah, Pycat needs to be big, and he's getting right up there.
It's very, very important for Clovers.
We're gonna see a toss lasso play.
Oh, good snowball shards too.
Toss. They get the 1 kill. They could lasso for the 2nd kill. Nico actually doesn't have mana for it, but should get the kill with a couple more uses of the spell. Toss is gonna get 1 more. They have shards back up momentarily. They're gonna get no fear as well here. 4CL overrunning Empire. Gets a triple in Sexy Bambo. Not sure exactly how he randomly finds all these kills, but he does. I guess he's a Tiny. I guess you just find kills.
Yeah, this is for Clovers back in the game, and a pretty expensive mistake from Empire here. Going high ground. I think the 2 kills Quap got, maybe you don't predict she's going to be in that perfect position for the Sonic Wave stream with a DD. But afterwards, they just shouldn't lose more heroes. Yep. They see 4 Clovers rotating over to the mid. You just back out. You let it be. You lost 2 heroes. It's okay. Losing 4 is kind of a different story. And Funnick couldn't help. He's not level 6 yet, so... They don't have that key teamfight ability that they need to take these fights under their tower, and 4 Clovers are just taking full advantage of it here. Getting themselves into a pretty clear lead now, as a matter of fact. And you know, I've been saying all the time that Empire were looking good. They've still been behind, kind of, on Experience and Gold, or it's been, like, even.
But the draft
game
potential,
plan,
it's so much better. And in fact, I mean, 4CL understand their game plan. They need to prevent that level 6. They see the Tidehunter farming here, and he's not 6 yet. If they get this kill, they toss him in, they get the quick kill. Can they get the stack, though? I don't think they have the heroes for something like that. So they delayed level 6, which is great, but they're not going to get much beyond this.
It's true, they can't steal the stack, but they can try to kill him again.
Oh, look, Bambo.
Yeah. I mean, why not? The tide is probably coming back there. They can just show the other heroes in another lane. And Bambo almost one-shot bursting the tide now. I think he is level 8 now, so the 3rd level in Avalanche actually does mean a lot for this damage output.
It's costing them a lot, though. Like, nobody's farming right now.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Funnick is just going to walk. They know that the stack wasn't taken because of their own observer ward, so they can play this kind of safe.
Yep. They're like, Tiny's not farming on the map right now. Something has to be up. Kind of inching very close to the tower, man. I mean, if they kill the Tiny right now, Tidehunter hits level 6. Oh, in fact, they want to fight. They're going to go on resolution right from the get-go. Huge damage coming up from 4CL. They get 3, and Funnick again, he's like, okay, I'm out of here. I'm not level 6. I can't do anything for you. The long con really pay out here for 4CL, and maybe they could get a tier 1.
If Funnick had Ravage there and he was in the position that could have counterplayed that 100%, but...
Right. But the only reason they made that play is... The only reason the 4CL made that play is because they don't have Ravage, so...
Looks like we're going to have an instant replay there from the score. So just look at this right now. They're coming in with Bambo. He actually, his invis ends, but they have no vision in the area. This is just full wombo combo. At the same time, actually, as this instant replay is happening, we're seeing it in picture in the bottom right. First show off of the Ravage from Funnick gets him a double kill, saves them their stack. And just when things were looking good for Clovers, they get a little bit overexcited. They didn't even take the mid-tier 1 tower here.
I think that's just too greedy for the side of 4CL. Their heroes can't take that stack. They just all stood there for too long. And honestly, I think they get more farm by going to the lane and hitting creeps. With that said, though, I understand the greed, like, because if you do take away the stack, that's a big swing goal for your team. But not paying off in that regard. Losing the Queen, to me, is the biggest thing there, because your Queen is a big part of your mid-game carry force, so...
He had a streak, too.
Yeah.
They lost the Tiny as well, right? I think both Tiny, Quappa, and Tusk died. That's like the worst trio of heroes they could lose almost.
Actually, how's he not finish his Shadow Blade by now? Because he's got that Shadow Amulet for the past 5 minutes already, and he's got a couple kills in the fights, so... I guess he lost a ton of gold.
50 TS minute 12, he just lost a lot of gold. They didn't take a tower. Nah, it's not enough. You compare the CS to the Gyro, who has 78. It's very clear that Silent is out farming right now. Empire, just that one last fight, they desperately needed that. They pulled the game back to 0, and that, again, for me, game plan-wise, is good enough.
Yep.
That was all they needed. 4 Clovers kind of gave that to them.
That one fight Team Empire got, I feel like 4CL needs to get 2 to 3 to equate that. Like, this Tiny needs to find just random kills. And it's going to be hard.
Got so much gold, too.
Oh, is he gonna go straight up Blink, or you think this is a mech first game?
Oh, that's a good question.
I think the way that 4CL fights you, if you just could blink in and just Ravage.
I like Blink.
Well, that said though, they are also so reliant on that burst damage. If you could mech in between, then you also just win the fight.
Yeah, the thing about 4 Clovers burst is that a mech probably isn't going to save the target that gets Ava toss Sonic Wave, but that's one hero.
Right.
And then you immediately turn it around with a good Ravage because they have to cluster up to get that spell burst out in the first place. So I think that's a good choice from Funnick if he does go for that. If he wanted the mech, he would start building it now, right? He would have seen the components start coming out, so... Yep. The second tower of the game will be going to Empire. Meanwhile, Bambo's trading, so that will be a Shadow Blade if he gets this tower top. They're pinging it out, though. I think they want to defend. Funnick has TP Ravage in 5 seconds. Yep, they're going to port in the Bane first.
Oh, God.
Nightmare. Oh, just straight into the grip. There's no help from Soxa. He's so far away. Free kill.
Yep. And they're going to get another tower up top here. 4CL pinging the mid tower, saying that, you know, can't do anything about top. Let's at least try to get one of our own. They do. Pycat gets the last hit here. Is this the game for Orchid? I mean, I'm not sure what it is, honestly.
Third tower for Empire. Actually, maybe not. Good glyph usage from 4 Clovers.
Okay, Soxa just walks in. They have Ravage. I'm not sure if this is a fight. Ravage flies out here, and there's a offensive swap against Nikwa. Nikwa is going to get brought down as well. Sonic Wave is big. Chain Frost doing way more damage as well here. They will get Aloha Dance, looking for the Venge as well. Venge is going to get brought down. Great deny, though, from Silent. But will that cost his life? Nikwa will have Blink momentarily. 5 seconds. They do have the Flame Break afterwards as well. They will lose Silent, I believe, from that deny Nikwa. Blink in 1. They snowball forward. The call down is going to hit everybody, but I don't think that's enough burst damage at this point in the game. Well, we said that Ravage will be big for Empire, but the way that the fight started, it was much better for 4CL.
They didn't have Gyro there. That's pretty much the fight right there. If Gyro is in position together with that Ravage, they crush them. And now, okay, looks like it's going to be a mech after all for Funnick. He changes. I'm going to assume he changes his plan after seeing that fight. Like, okay, we just died way too fast, but if that's the reasoning, I think the main thing to look for there is just if Gyro is there with a call down during the Ravage, they're way better off. And I think, I don't know the swap on the lasso there. He was already Ravaged. I'm not sure. Who did they lasso? Was it the Dragon Knight?
I didn't even see. Yeah.
Of course, the swap breaks the lasso so that hero gets.
But he
to
was
play.
stunned anyway, so.
But he's stunned, right?
Yeah.
So you're trading. You're using swap to break a stun, and then you don't have it afterwards for better positioning or a potential aggressive play.
So by the way, Tiny has been hiding his Shadow Blade for the longest time on his courier and inventory, but as he picked it up under a ward, and now here comes a gank party with Dust on No Fear. So they're completely ready. The Sexy Bambo might just solo kill Silent here.
Yeah, I'm surprised he's giving him the opportunity, right? He's moving into the left. This is actually a pretty good bait if it works out.
Yeah, it looks like he will work out.
Is Bambo going to try for this? Hell yeah!
I mean, Bambo looking for a kill. The swap, the mech, everything's there, and the bait goes the other direction. Expertly played by Team Empire. And Batrider comes in thinking he wanted to fight, but did you see his arms raising up, man? He's like,
he was lifting the roof, and it wasn't enough.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a Bambo on the sidelines. They don't have Ravage, though.
But you don't have Bambo, so I think you're okay. Maybe you could pressure a little bit.
That's a little bit scary. Sonic Wave is up in 5. This could backfire for Empire, but they want to play aggressive, and they know this time they have the Gyro. No cooldown, though.
Yeah. Look at Aloha.
Pretty good position for Pycat. He got it a triple right now. They know they have the mech. No, mech actually on cooldown. Lasso comes out.
Punch. Okay, that's good. But is that enough, though? He's very, very tanky. Chain Frost bouncing left and right, but we're going to see a Tiny teleporting in a couple of seconds. Sonic Wave on the backline here, only catching one. Tiny needs to clean up. He ports in. He looks for the Bane. He does get one. No! The Bane actually, it's going to be fine. There's going to be Urn. Shadow Blade's going to chase him down. Meanwhile, Gyrocopter lays the retreat with the call down. They have Napalm, they have Snowball, they have Shards. They will eventually pick up Silent once again. Great shard here from Saksa. It's going to be yet another 5-kill victory. The only person they give up here is the Queen of Pain, but you know, every time we say that Empire has the kind of draft advantage, 4CL is outplaying them.
I am actually, based on what play I've seen from Empire so far this tournament, I am shocked that they went for that play call. They don't have mech ready on Tide. They don't have call down ready. They know there's a Batrider on defense and that the enemy team has everything. And they still go and try to push that fight when, you know, the hero they killed before is out in like 10 seconds and can just TP in and turn it into a 5-on-5. And sure, you got your Ravage, that's great, but where's your damage coming from?
Yeah.
Call down, not there. You don't have it. Yeah. And Lich ult was great. Lich also had a mech there. EGM, maybe that surprised them that EGM already has a mech too. He's currently 3-0-12 on that Lich.
Well, EGM
having a great game.
Used to silently been carrying the game, but in that last fight and the fight before, very loud in his engage. Pycat up top here. We'll have his Orchid. Again, I'm questioning whether Orchid is the best item choice. If you could silence the Tidehunter as he blinked in.
That's very good. It's good against Bane.
That's just so hard to actually execute that, right?
It's very nice against Bane. It's nice against Venge. When you use the lasso, you can silence the Venge, and then you guarantee that, maybe?
But is it better than just having raw stats from the Aghanim's and then...
I'm not sure. I think Axe would be very good this game too. Just look at how often and how hard they're fighting.
Right.
The 40-second cooldown, of course the
HP,
extra damage, the stats he gets will be pretty good.
They see him. They see Aloha Dance coming in here with that Glimmer Cape.
Nico, just thinking about it. He's, by the way, 0-12 on the bat. He's just assisting left, right, and center. No Ravage for 20.
I don't think the Batrider score actually matters because he's already got his items.
Yep.
You could be 0-12 and still have the biggest impact in the game, so not the worst hero to be going 0-12. So what's next here for 4CL? Is it the same game plan? Are we gonna keep looking for fights, or are we gonna slow the game down? Maybe let our Tiny start farming the map a little bit.
I think as long as they don't try to be the aggressors under towers, they'll be fine. This top tier 1 should be on their radar as a potential pickup here, but just looking at the game plan, they need to make sure Tiny doesn't fall behind. But that's the thing, they've taken so many good fights, they're 11 kills ahead, but it still doesn't feel like a convincing lead just yet. Oh, Bane. Looking for a grip, didn't manage to get it. So again, make sure Tiny farms.
Yeah, I think it goes back to the draft where they just can't push towers after these successful fights. Granted, most of these fights have been on their own side of the map, so they can't really push afterwards anyways. But let's say even if 4CL wins the next fight, at best they get a tier 1. It's not...
Oh, they smoked under ward. This is big for Clovers.
I think you don't counterplay this, right? You just dodge and you farm.
if you have the high ground advantage and they go into you without the blink on Tide, you can totally catch them off guard and win the fight. It depends on the good lasso and just the fact that Empire, if they moved up together, you could get like a 5-man Sonic Wave when they're walking up a hill. But they're just going to dodge, which is perfectly fine too.
Well, Tiny is walking right into them.
It might cost them a tower though. I think Empire are making the best out of this situation. Just
He's going to get swapped.
suddenly appearing with 5.
Oh, okay, he gets dusted, he gets
Swap.
swapped and gripped immediately. There's going to be no counterplay. Well, we're going to see Nico coming in, but I'm not sure if he wants to come in. Chain Frost, where's the Chain Frost? Not being thrown out just yet. Sonic Wave doing quite a bit of damage. Funix still has that RP reserve. He has used the mech. Sorry, not RP, the Ravage. And they back off. No, actually, Bat Rider blinks forward. The shard's pretty good again. Chain Frost out of mana now from EGM. They still want to chase.
This is a very good play from 4 Clovers. They're not overextending. They're just slowly poking them down with Urn and the shards. There's the Ravage, though.
The Chain Frost bouncing left and right, not bouncing on No Fear just yet. The creeps taking a little bit of damage. You talked about how them not overplaying. I think they have overplayed. The Flame Break, though, will kill No Fear. It looks like Bat Rider blinks away. They do defend their tower, though.
That's definitely good enough for 4 Clovers, that final exchange they got there.
Considering
Defend their
that-
tower, they force Ravage.
And considering they lost Tiny before the fight, that was pretty impressive in a 5v4. And Highcat? Pretty aggressive stuff from him.
Yep. With DD and Orchid, he's not scared of resolution. Yeah, I'm looking for Funnick to get Greaves. I think I'm actually looks like he's building pipe here with the headdress as well. I think Greaves Blink might have been a better choice. I get where he's coming from with the pipe against, of course, the Lich and the Tiny, which is great.
Yep. You completely nullify what Bat Rider could do in a fight.
Yeah,
damage-wise.
actually, no. On second thought, this is actually better. I'm just thinking in these fights, it seems like they always have mech on cooldown, and having Greaves would be great. But the build-up would take so long that either Pipe or Blink would come out maybe a bit later than they would have liked it to. So Pipe is a good midway item here while it's relevant. And it's going to stay relevant for a long time, right? You look at these fights, 4 Clovers, they're all about that magic damage.
I'm not so on the Pipe in the sense that if the fight breaks out the way that 4CL wants to, they will just jump on one target, right? You blink, you lasso, you force staff back. And Pipe's, I mean, I guess you could Pipe for that person and it doesn't get wasted because the rest of your team gets it too, but I don't know. I don't know if there's another better item choice either, as they do need more team fight impact items.
I'm mainly looking for this BKB on Resolution. That's an item we haven't talked so much about this game, but
And
the
Silence.
BKBs start coming out for Silent and Resolution. Yeah, he's going to have it in 100 gold. He'll actually have it for the next fight. That's the true test for 4 Clovers. Can they actually kite the BKBs long enough? Because if they both get popped and there's a Ravage, there is no way in hell they win that team fight. Tiny simply doesn't have any damage yet, apart from his burst combo. Looks like 4 Clovers are trying to go on the offensive here. 4 heroes smoked. Actually, all 5. Looking for the Roach Pit, they were worried about we're doing it.
Are they going to try to steal it? No, they don't have enough to damage.
Empire have pretty good vision on the map. Like the top ward they have behind the Radiant Tier 2 is telling them that no one is moving top, so it's pretty obvious where 4 Clovers are going right now. They're just going to walk into them with the Resolution in front. And actually Silent too with the BKB. He's going to get pinged out. I think it's Pycat saying he has BKB on Gyro now. And I think Dragon Knight, this game, you go BKB Blink, and then you just engage for your team. That's what they need. They need to set up the fight, force 4 Clovers to go in, and then you do the Ravage.
Yeah, you can follow up with Call Down Ravage.
Yeah.
Way too much damage, really, for 4CL to deal with.
Resolution going for TP out here, actually.
Oh, TP to the tier 1 nearby, so.
Short TP. Should secure him his BKB if he doesn't get caught right now.
Oh, he will get caught. Here comes the lasso. Here comes the force staff. They should have enough amount of control and damage to burst him down. Resolution will get avalanche and killed, and they could just actually take the tower. In fact, they're going in for more. I'm not sure about this one. They have to dive past the tower. Saxa doesn't hit, and looks like he's going to get Nightmare up. Call down on point against Saxa as well as EGM. On the backside here, it's going to be Queen of Pain comes in. Huge Sonic Wave, doing it against 3 hero Flame Break.
Good Flame Break.
Helping him out. Funnick looking for the Ravage. He's going to try to land it on more than just one. He's still holding onto it. Meanwhile, Silent, again, laying out the damage. I'm not sure if
is Resolution not buying back for this. I feel like they could just be fighting this with the Ravage and him, but maybe they're doing it okay without him, actually.
Yeah, they are.
They get 2 kills for 2. Gyro stays alive. That's I mean, it's very impressive that was the read Resolution had on the situation. Like, there's a snowball going behind your tier 1, almost into your tier 2 tower. That's where most Dragon Knights just, oh, well, he had TP on cooldown, never mind.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking you could just buy back TP in, but he already used it, so yeah, never mind. No option to buy back there, he does the right thing.
That would have been the awkward buyback. It's like, wait.
Yeah, that's true. It's definitely the right call with a TP on cooldown. I'm 99% sure he would have bought back with TP ready there.
Yeah. I mean, maybe he was also waiting for the Ravage, and then he buybacks at that moment, and then ports in, if he had the TP. But,
they didn't use their Ravage there, so they could go for Roche, maybe. They know Sonic Wave is on cooldown, and that's probably not enough to justify that play call.
Still, though, that fight gave Queen of Pain and Tiny a little bit more leeway to farm in the enemy jungle. And using that farm, looks like we do have the Aghanim Scepter finish on the Tiny. One of the best upgrade in the game, Scepter-wise concerned. Good amount of HP, great farm.
He needs something to turn this into damage now. AC is good. It's kind of a problem for Bambo in these fights. He needs AC and BKB before it's really a threat. One or the other won't cut it, really. There's so much lockdown that he kind of needs the BKB, and if he goes to the BKB, he just doesn't deal the damage against the BKBs of Empire.
Right.
Still a tricky situation, I feel, for Clovers. And they're ahead by 11 kills, but it's a 3k gold lead. 5k experience. This is not nearly as much as we've seen in the rest of the tournament with this kind of a kill lead, but...
And again, it's Empire taking the Aegis now.
Yep. This is a very big deal. And looks like 4Clovers might want to try to move over and contest it. They're going to be too late, though.
Yeah, also not really want to fight against the Ravage around that moment. Yeah, they'll back out.
BKB Dragon Knight, Gyro gets the Aegis.
So seeing the Aegis on Gyro, does that automatically make Gyro a unlassoable target?
Yes.
Because if you lasso him and then you just get Ravage, he comes back with Aegis and then
you need to get him really far away from his team. You do have Lasso and Force Staff, but...
Maybe if they had a second Force Staff,
yes,
they could make
exactly. Maybe if they could like push him into the fountain or something, then kill him, but... I think they're going to just concede this tower and try to trade for top. It's the right idea here as well. Tide coming now coming out the Tide. And it's just what 4Clovers have done with their draft. They've kind of pigeonholed themselves. They think they were playing a really, really good game, but it's just very one-dimensional. It's very easy to itemize against. BKBs and Pipe just will bring the fight to them. And this is a fight that 4Clovers can't afford to lose, because not only would they lose Rax, but their chance of getting to that stage when they have the physical damage they need is almost gone.
Surprised to see Nico did not lay down the Firefly as the creep walked up the hill. Maybe he could make his play. In fact, he's going to go on the Dragon Knight. Swap's going to break it up immediately. There's a silence on Funnick, but they don't really care. In fact, they're hitting your tier 3s right now. They need a better way of engage. Funnick just walks in, threatening the Ravage, not really using it just yet. I think that's a perfect way to play it so far. And here comes Aloha's Lance, looking for a Nightmare, looking for a grip. Again, Funnick walks forward, but he's not laying the Ravage. He will use it now, call down on top of that. Nikwa taking all of the damage back in the backline. Pycat pops the BKB, uses the Sonic Wave, but just not enough damage output. EGM pops him back mostly for himself, but it's not going to be enough. Focusing on Funnick under the tier 4 top. Funnick will drop, but it doesn't matter at this point. Bambo, he's going to be invis up.
That's a good glimmer.
Okay.
It definitely does matter. I think 4Clovers are holding this.
They are holding for now. Pycat re-engages. He doesn't have to BKB. They will remove. Great snowball picking everybody up, but there is a haste run on the Dragon Knight. Force that forward on Sexy Bambo. Looks like they're not going to get much beyond this. No, he goes for the TP, and there's going to be another kill. Great hold here from 4CL, despite they're trying to hold against the Aegis.
And Empire got a little bit restless there. I was like, they're playing this really, really well. They got the tower without committing any key abilities. They had used their pipe and their mech. They have two choices there. Either you disengage, or you wait for 4Clovers to engage. Instead, they drop a call down that's very telegraphed that 4Clovers see coming. They pop the Ravage. There's immediately a Glimmer Cape usage. I think it hits one target with both spells. That's just not good enough. They could have waited, reset, re-gone. And I think we're going to see them do it again when they didn't lose their Aegis on Silence. So when they have Ravage again, it's try number 2. But 4Clovers this time around, they do survive.
Yep.
Now get a tower too.
Winning that last fight does give Bambo 3k gold to work with. Yep. You know they're going to be pushing in.
Pretty well here.
Is there any item that you can pick up now to make your next fight easier? I guess if you're going for BKB, you pick up the Ogre Club.
Yeah, Ogre is okay.
Or Play Mail if you're going for AC.
Yeah. Oh man, he needs to not get caught here. He doesn't. Shadowblade TP out. And Empire just ready to go again.
Yep.
45 seconds on Ravage. This is a pretty good timing for starting to push this wave. When they reach the base, there's going to be about 10-second cooldown on this Ravage.
There's no glyph this time. No tier 3
No
either.
glyph.
Yeah.
And last fight, mind you, the Bad Riders last actually got counted out too. So Empire
Yes.
did everything right. Niqua felt his hand was forced to go for something. And the moment they canceled that with the swap, there was actually not that much left before Clovers in that fight. But Empire let them do it. They probably learned from their mistakes in the previous fight, and this time around, I have a hard time seeing 4 Clovers hold these barracks.
Well, Firefly is laid out. And they do have the high ground advantage. Let's not forget about that. And a gem now picked up on Funnick. Here we go. Looks like Gyro's going to walk up the hill. He loses about half his HP instantaneously. Dragon Knight comes up the hill. He's looking for the racks for now. Silent just standing on front line, knowing that he has Aegis. They're waiting for 4CL to engage into them. Oh, there's Sonic Wave just used for the kill. Okay.
That is...
Is that go time or back time? It's going to be go time, but Lasso immediately by No Fear. There was no stun at all, and again, they still have the backup of the mech and Ravage. Here comes Resolution. He's using the BKB. Great snowball here, picks him up, but where he's going to get landed outside, but the Ravage will catch him on the tail, and Bambo is seen. Bambo is dead. Bambo needs to come back right now. Chain Frost doing quite a bit of damage. Bambo bites back here, but I think it's disengage time for Team Empire. Multiple buyback. Here comes Bambo on the back line here. He tosses him back into the fight. They need to cancel that TP on Funnick. They will use the snowball to do it. Resolution gets 4 staff away. No more stun. They will get Funnick as a return kill, but...
Oh my god, it got sucks.
He does get a return kill himself. He does lose the gem, though.
Man, that was really expensive for Clovers. They only lose their range racks, though, but I think that was... Let me see. That was a buyback on Bad
Bambo.
Rider, Tiny...
Yep.
Was that it? Yeah, Bad Rider and Tiny. They lose like a 3,000 gold swing there.
They get silent twice,
Yep.
and the TIE Hunter once, and a gem.
No Fear swaps have been really good, though.
Yes.
He's very, very quick. The 4-step doesn't even come out from Niqua before it gets cancelled, so...
I mean, it's definitely a lost fight for 4CL, but considering the situation they're in, it's... Oh, they do got the dust, and this should be a kill. Oh, Illusion take the Nightmare.
Nightmare 4-step. Pretty easy.
Too deep to chase, I guess.
There's also Avenge there to swap him. He's going to be just fine.
Yep.
But they got the gem. I think that's important that 4 Clovers are now sitting on this one on EGM. It is No Fear's gem, so I don't know if Empire can actually buy another one just yet. Do they have cooldown? They do. For a long time, actually. They bought the gem for that fight, so it's 6.5 minutes until they can get another one of those.
Nice pickup.
EGM needs to keep that very safe.
Seeing the way that the fight turned out, I think Pycat, if he has gone for the Aghanims, it would have been much better. Because these fights are dragging long enough where Pycat could actually throw out 2 Sonic Waves.
Yeah, and I think committing the Sonic Wave to the gyro kill, it's difficult to say whether that was worth it. Of course, they just get rid of the Aegis and get a fighting chance. And he was getting desperate that they were losing their buildings.
It feels like they
I
have
don't know
to
if anyone else could have killed him than Pycat.
Yeah.
It's just a difficult situation.
Well, Pycat should have Aghanim Scepter for the next fight. With that said, though, is this a time where you just save for buyback? Or you just have to go to buy items? Let's say, in the situation for Pycat, he's holding 3k. Is this where you just go for the full axe once you get to 4.2?
If that's his item of choice, I think so. He's not really the one dying first in the fight. If he
Oh,
dies
Saxa
last, then...
cannot get ultimate. Oh, he does get off his... He wants to get off the Orchid, but the swap back in. Snowball's going to be there on the back line. Looks like there's going to be a play against Resolution from Niqua. Call down's going to be good. They will get No Fear, I think. No, is that Snowball? No, they just both disappeared and died. Chain Frost is bouncing between a couple of heroes. Can you re-engage if you're 4CL? Firefly just runs out. Niqua blinks up on the high ground. He gets stunned immediately. Force that back out here, but looks like he is going to go down. Not sure about that. If aggressive play by Niqua.
His team wasn't ready for it. They didn't have Sonic Wave ready. Tiny was off to the side, can't get engaged. He doesn't have a Blink Dagger.
Yeah.
I thought that was actually going to look... That looked pretty bad for Empire when they swapped and the grip ended. They didn't find a kill so that the lasso could just bring in Resolution, but there was not enough damage for 4 Clovers to kill off Resolution with that lasso, so they just wasted essentially the lasso there without getting any pick on that. And
Pycat
killing off the
will get a courier on the way out.
Yep.
Okay.
That's already delivered. The MKB though for Gyro, and again, it's just the same story, right? The Tiny is not getting enough. He has almost got a BKB, but the physical damage is not coming out from 4CL. I'm wondering if Pycat should actually not have gone for this this axe and tried for a physical damage build. Either Daedalus Deso, just some cheap damage right now so they can have a secondary damage source. MKB.
I think an item like that would let you hold on now, but in the long run, you need the X to, and the refresher afterwards to actually win the fight.
That's possible, but then I think you should have gone for refresher instead of Axe, if that was the logic. Because having Axe refresher, it's a 40-second cooldown. Like the actual damage output you get from the refresher is pretty bad, right? Or sorry, from the Axe. It gives a little extra, like 80. What is it? 85 on level 3. The refresher gives 470. So as long as you have the mana to use it, which I think Pycat does with the Orchid build-up.
I think it's likely that
enough.
I think it's likely that he could get off 2 ults in one fight, considering these fights do end up going quite long.
Yeah, I like refresher more than X. But we'll see. Gets the stats at least. But yeah, like you said, if the fight is long enough, this is effectively working that way. The fight is just they don't have burst, so having 2 ults is great and all, but how much are you going to lose in between those 40 seconds? Even if the fight is long enough, is the second quabble going to seal the deal, or will it just give you like a
That is
trade?
true.
You want to win the fight, not draw at this point.
And the reason that the fights are long is because they're buying back, so that's not exactly a winning proposition either.
Yeah.
Or 4CL. Well, BKB is finally up on Tiny, but Tiny needs like 2 more items beyond this to really start to make a big impact. Again,
This could be a game-winning play right here.
4CL, this is their last game. If they lose the game, Saksa walks into the entire team and he just dies. Nico, well, I mean, he's last on somebody. It gets immediately swapped. All right, the AoE is pretty good here. Bambo activates his BKB, but they're not even worried. Empire just tanking the Chain Frost, and they're just chasing for more No Fear drops. Very low, gotta be careful. But the BKB is finally out. Bambo has to invis and walk away. And so will the Bat Rider, so...
Oh, he's gonna get caught. Oh! Barely gets out there before Resolution gets the Dragon Tail off. They got 1 kill and that guy bought back. I think 4 Clovers dodged a bullet there.
Oh,
Unless
no.
Pycat, he's gonna need help here from Bambo.
Okay, can they actually burst him down? That's the question, but the Ravage catches 2. BKB, though, is activated on Pycat. Still, huge amount of damage going to Bambo. Keep in mind that he does not have buyback for this fight. Pycat's out of there. But,
Very long Roche respawn time here. Empire kind of unlucky there.
do you just go? There's 80 seconds without the Tiny.
It's difficult. Pycat doing the right thing here by cutting the wave. He even has a regen, so he can just keep this going. Going to top lane probably to try to cut that one together with the Bat Rider. I think Empire just going to stick around the Roche and get that. They have the Roche for sure. Pushing the base is a little more risky. And
Are they drawing the line, though?
all right. Surprising. They know Roshan must be spawning soon. We're close to max spawn time. 4 Clovers probably aren't going to let them do this. They're split pushing mid.
Oh, we'll see if it ends up to be a strategic mistake, and this is where you wish, man, if it had a Deso, this tier 3 going down. Now, the Dire team really being forced to go back and maybe to defend the base. They could go for the Roche right now, but they will lose racks off of that.
Man,
so.
they don't have a single TP on all 5 heroes. Full Cloud9 strat here is going to cost them a tier 3.
And
Man,
now,
that ain't good.
the fact that Tiny got picked for 80 seconds and they get nothing out of it, in fact, they lose the tier 3, I gotta say that's just some sort of huge Empire mistake, strategically wise.
Yeah, they had to go back. The moment they see Pycat split pushing and they don't have a single TP, you can't go there. That's a really, really big play from Pycat here, recognizing that he gets that opportunity.
He's up to 2.3, man. If he gets this game dragged out a little bit more, we might see that refresh Ags. Or do you think it's got to be a different item, like maybe a Hex or Shiva's?
I think Refresher is good enough for now.
Okay.
The damage item build is... Well, then again, Tiny died again in that last fight. He's got the BKB, but not
Well,
hitting
the
hard.
reason that Tiny died is they re-engaged without the BKB, so...
Yeah. But it's not so much that it's more about him not progressing in the item build, not that he can't actually...
That's... Oh, Pycat blinks into the Bane. He has his ultimate. Pycat's dead, right? Alright. He's actually very tanky.
Is this going to be close? Stun?
Yeah, they have
It's good. Perfectly layered there from Empire. Big kill. That's Roche.
There's no split pushing coming out this time to force Empire back. Can Nico make a play? Does Nico have to make a play here? Go for the Aegis steal?
He doesn't have to, but...
Bambo's
it's only
like...
the second Roche. This is an Aegis. There's no cheese, and that does matter. Of course, it makes a very big difference. A hero like Dragon Knight is extremely good at using cheese. He is so tanky that generally you have the time to get it off. Oh, Sox are going to get caught here. Do they have a gem?
Okay,
Or
that...
staff? Oh, he's thinking about the Ravage. sights against it. He couldn't see him, so. They get rushed though.
Yep.
Tiny gets the bottom tower. 4 Clovers once again playing the split push game. This time
Nick was thinking about it. If he could steal this Aegis, will be huge. Flame break, but just a little bit off the time. Maybe he could blink in. No. He gets swapped in though. Force that back out. He's fine. He's fine. He's fine.
A little bit of knowledge.
But Tiny on the bottom lane will get a tier 3. Meanwhile, looks like they're gonna get a Lich kill on the top, but it doesn't matter. Tiny might actually get your Rex. Where's the TP coming back? Ven just sprinting across. The TP's on CD. 4CL will get the first Rex for the team. And in fact, you will windwalk into the base and look for a TP out. You commit the Ravage with this one, right? Yeah, you do. He does have the buyback now. Oh, okay.
All right, that's not happening.
I think that was actually a waste on the BKB chart.
Yeah, I agree.
They got a Rex, so.
That's still, I mean, 4 Clovers are getting more than what they came for.
I mean, I think the door is slightly open now for from Team Empire. This game should not have been as close as it is right now.
Even get the tier 2 top. Now there's... It's one thing that they've managed to get the split push going and got a barracks, but they've actually managed to open up so much that they can split push all 3 lanes right now.
Yep.
So Empire letting them have these towers for the Roche. No, I'm still not going to say Empire are losing the game as a result of losing this barracks, but they at least give 4CL a chance. You're still looking at this Empire line and you're thinking, okay, if they can just get down a lane without being split pushed at the same time, their team fight should just be way superior. Now Bambo again dying there, not really progressing on his item build. Funny, at the same time though, top lane.
You're not killing him. He's got Greaves, Pipe, Kraken.
Sonic Wave being committed to push out the wave.
Yeah. That's the other nice thing that we haven't mentioned is...
Boots of Travel on Gyro, by the way. He is adapting to the situation now. Silent has had enough. You guys don't carry TPs all the time, I will.
Well, there's a big push down the mid lane. Tiny, thankfully for him, does not have to use his buyback, as he might need it for the next fight.
They force resolution back though, so...
Okay.
Push not commencing just yet for Empire.
I mean, is there a point in the game where 4CL actually has a stronger team fight? Or a stronger team in general? Probably not, right? Because at a point, you're going to see double Ravage coming up.
I don't think they're stronger late game either. They needed to hit a sweet spot in this game, but again, the win condition for how they pushed the base was solely reliant on Tiny getting big enough, and Bambo just wasn't big enough. So
okay.
I think it's such a difficult game for 4 Clovers. I think split pushing is the way to go. You can somehow bait out a situation where you can trade for racks. That's what we want to do.
Yep.
But this time, now with these Boots of Travel on Empire, Gyro pushed out bottom pretty well. Pycat, he's going to need some time to get to the base. They're at least getting to tier 2 here. EGM split pushing mid. He's not that big of a threat. It takes very long for him to destroy the barracks.
Pycat does pick up the Deso, like you pointed out earlier.
I did? Yeah.
Yeah.
Good choice. This is a split push item.
Actually,
damaging the buildings.
Can Saxa shards the creep wave on the ramp? No, not.
Who doesn't have TP right now? Gyro, 15-second cooldown.
Okay.
Dragon Knight, 5.
If they can catch a Tiny here, Blink, Ravage, the Force Staff, well, they will catch probably EGM as well. He's invisible, the mech being forced, but again, Queen of Pain on the back line here. He's going to get gripped, and he's going to get brought down, so they lose the Queen. Meanwhile, next to their own base, Nico finds Eventual Spirit on the high ramp. They will get that kill, but is it really that big of a deal?
Good play for 4CL again. Yeah. They got the range barracks bottom, so they're making progress. Empire aren't really. Yeah,
they're actually up Raxes against Empire.
Empire got a tier 2 top, which of course allows them to go for mega creeps at some point, but that tower isn't really that relevant right now. It's more just about keeping the lanes pushed, and I think Empire have to be a little more... They have to be a little more creative. They have so many items. Like their Bane actually has a BKB. He has a guaranteed grip unless there's either a Bad Rider lassoing him or... Oh, actually, never mind. There's also Chain Frost. There's actually a lot of stuff now that I think about it. Snowball defensively. But when they split push like this, whatever target he finds can't really counterplay. He can't just Orchid him with Quap and blink away.
I think against the playstyle of 4CL, an item like Blink Dagger on your Bane would have been much more helpful, but obviously that's kind of a hindsight thing.
Now let's see. Dragon Knight is progressing toward what looks to be an SNY or a Halberd.
By the way, Bane walks over a ward up top, and I think they're looking for a pick.
He has a gem.
Okay.
Nope.
Bad Rider continue to kill the creep wave on the mid lane. Gotta be careful here. And I think this is the first time in a long while where Empire has really pushed out enough waves, or they're not really immediately threatened to be racked, so they could just win the game off of one more fight.
There we go. The lanes this time around are better.
Yeah.
4 Clovers are not close enough, and this top lane does have a full HP tier 3. Sonic Wave.
All right, being thrown out here. Flame Break used as well, but I think this is the time to forfeit this Rax. It's not going to be able to defend. Age is just timed out, so maybe the Radiant team can make a play. Meanwhile, on the top lane here, again, Bambo still looking to split push. He does force 1 TP back.
Silence TP. Nico is trying to look to stop TPs there with Flame Break, but he's not in a good enough position.
Okay, he's thinking.
Whoa, okay.
I mean, it makes sense because you saw one person TP out. It's like, okay, I need to go back in and chase for more. But
I think he was
Empire
just trying
was
to
ready.
push out. I don't know. I think he wanted to just push the wave and
he just got jumped.
blink Firefly and go back, but they responded immediately there. Like there was no split push going on for 4 Clovers anymore, so stopping TPs wouldn't even have helped very much.
Oh, we are seeing quite a bit of rat here at Dreamhack Winter. Ooh, okay, they got the gem. Okay, BKB has to be activated, but doesn't matter. Oh, actually, okay. They do have to swap. Ray Avalanche covering his retreat. He needs to juke.
He has no TP instead.
Is he though?
This is not happening.
Is he though?
Are you kidding me?
They have a wave of terror in 5.
Oh my god, this actually worked.
Meanwhile, Sox on the right side. He's
That
also
is
being
so
pursued.
huge.
Yeah.
What a juke. Damn.
Okay,
Not
looks
so
like
much a juke there.
hard to juke as Lich. Is he actually going to go in for the play here? No way, Sexy Mantle.
This is a hard kill.
Okay, they're going to get the kill, I think. They should have enough. Oh, they definitely have enough. 4CL finds something out of nothing.
Man, Bambo dodging that gank and then killing Gyro. How much bigger of a play can you ask for in this situation? Unfortunately for them, they can't really get any collateral because their lanes are pushed so much. But once again, they're keeping hope alive. And that kill on Gyro is a big gold swing. He's the richest here on Empire, giving away a lot of net worth.
Yeah. And Queen of Pain, again, another 3k on his gold. Is this where we look towards the refresher, or are we looking at something else? Or is this where you fully switch over and go damage, like an MKB for the butterfly that's coming in?
I like Daedalus and Quap here.
Okay.
Does
he have the attack speed to really support this, though?
I think it's the best damage item for the cost right now for him, so... It's just it. Queen of Pain has really good intelligence. Well, not exceptionally good, but pretty good. So her base damage for Daedalus is really high.
Okay, he goes bots to continue the way that they've been playing.
That's okay too.
Yeah.
I need to get that as well. Part of the build. I think Daedalus, the tiny, as mentioned plenty of times, isn't progressing enough. He's going to have the AC soon just because he dodged that gank, so that's really huge. And that's why I was going to suggest AC for the Quap as a split push item and as a damage item, but Tiny's already getting it, so
right.
It's a bit of a waste. Necro 3 is an option if he wants to go for that full split push mode. That could also be applied as a choice.
You know, I'm seeing more and more avenues for victory for 4CL. Where 10 minutes ago, if you asked me who will win this game, it would have been definitely 100% Empire. But I also wonder if, as a player in a situation like this on the side of Empire, whether you're going to start to go on tilt.
I don't think so. They're a very experienced team. They can keep it together. Should keep in mind, by the way, that Empire are making some pretty key item progression as well. We're close to the refresher for the Tidehunter. Dragon Knight has the Heaven's Halberd,
right.
So he has the evasion. There's no MKBs on the Radiant, so it's actually really, really cost-efficient item right now. Can disarm the Tiny after BKB, or disarm the Quab after BKB. The Gyro almost has Butterfly, so even more evasion that they can't really deal with. I'm actually surprised that Empire hasn't gone for a Solar Crest on any of their heroes.
He was thinking about making the play. He drops the gem to the Tusk. If you get the steal, that would be absolutely huge. Napalm being dropped out. BKB blinks in Flame Bricks. He gets Swab and gripped immediately, just a little bit too soon. If he denied the Aegis to the enemy side, that would have been absolutely huge. And now they're down about 70 seconds.
That was way too early.
Yeah.
Like, I'm very surprised he mistimed it that much.
The thing is, maybe he was thinking that his blink would get cancelled by a Wave of Terror, but I don't know. I think this is where you just BKB and
well, the thing is, the idea with what he wants to do is he wants to blink in, and then as Roshan dies, he flame breaks them and takes it.
Yep.
But he actually flame broke them all so they could deal the damage to Roche. So he just ended up dying. way too late, like you said, and gets Fiend Script there. It's worth the try, though. It wasn't that good of a try. It was a good idea.
Yeah.
But the execution was a little bit lacking.
Oh, Tiny goes for a Wind Shard. So.
Oh, EGM. One last ride. Where is he going to go to? The grave.
Yep.
Sorry for the spoiler, but...
There's also double damage on the top river. I guess Empire...
Solution. There's pressure at bottom as well. Yeah, that's true. That DD could be good, especially for the Tiny.
Actually, Silence running back to the base.
Yep, he's going to defend top and then Boots will travel down to mid. I think Resolution going to heal up, do the same. And that should be good enough for them.
Is there any way for 4CL to take a fight right now? But probably not, because the TP is already coming in here from the Dragon Knights. And shortly to follow by the Gyro. Alright, it's do or die here. In fact, they get initiated on. It's going to be Nikwa gets jumped again. Buyback comes out from both of these players. Alright, Sonic Wave is pretty good. Chain Frost even better, bouncing on a lot of these heroes. And here we go, Nikwa comes back in. He finds Silent. He does have the Aegis, but he's between Tier 4 towers and shards. But he's life stealing all the way back. What's Satanic? All the buybacks in the world here from 4CL. That's 4 buybacks so far. No Fear is going to be the first one to drop. Tier 3 is still very healthy. They can lift him back up. I think 4CL might actually be able to hold this here, but they're losing a lot of HP. Meanwhile, Sexy Bamboo on the top side here forces the TP back from Funnick. He tries to TP out. Looks like he will. No! Nightmare on the last second. He's going to be stranded. He dies here. He will have to buy back. Does he have it?
He does.
He doesn't want to use it.
But there's no point in using it right now. Yeah, that's definitely good enough for Empire. Bambo was trying to split push top, but the tower had full health and they had a glyph. They TP back the correct hero, Bane with both Knight and
mid lane.
So much time.
Alright, he gets out the Glimmer Cape just in time, but
still stunned. He's pretty screwed. And he's without buyback. They're going to force this buyback out of Bambo. There we go. And now the ball's in their court. They can just keep going. There is a buyback available.
They have to kill Resolution right now.
Has Aegis too.
Okay, never mind.
It's got to be game. Like, what are you going to do? They're going to try to go on Resolution. And the Avalanche actually off the mark. Sonic will connect, but Bambo, look at him just melting to the Gyrocopter's auto attacks. Bye-bye. This should be the Mega Creeps coming out to Team Empire. And, okay, there was a Lich.
Well,
GG. Empire will take it 3-1.
It was
OG.
It was a good game for 4CL in the sense that they really held on. They did more than I think most teams could have done in that situation. But really, it was just one last ride. And the train just stopped a little bit too early.
Yeah, they lacked something strategically to deal with this phase of the game. 4 Clovers, even after getting so many kills, they got like, what was it, 2 full team wipes?
Yeah.
Or at least some really good fights.
Close to that, yeah.
They didn't gain enough from it because they couldn't keep up on farm and have the late game that they needed to fight into this Empire lineup. So strategically, I do think 4 Clovers had a great tournament. I think they can be proud of what they did here, regardless of course,